Karl Langdon lining up at full forward for the West Coast, and they'll be going to right of screen. Hepburn gets the opening tap out. Kick out of the centre comes Fitzroy's way. No, there's going to be a mark at midfield. No wind advantage here at the North Hobart ground, so goals will be kicked at either end. Langdon, Haxman, long left footer with the drop punt down towards left half forward. Marking contest out there. Turnbull couldn't take it. Lamb goes for the hand pass inside 50, picked up by Lewis now. Long looping hand pass covers some 25 metres. Chance for Fitzroy's WYND. A snapshot for goal. That will be the first score of the afternoon, and it goes through for only one behind. Kick for the Roys by Jimmy WYND.
Well, a very lackadaisical handball from Chris Lewis, who went towards the centre of the ground, opening up, well, a very dangerous ploy for the Fitzroy side, and WYND should have taken advantage of it.
White boots in. Paxman from behind looking to fist away. Waters, almost clever. This is Baldwin. And now Cormac, a former Eagle. That was a good hand pass to Harding, just inside the 50. Goes down towards full forward. It's off target. Drifts out of bounds in the left full forward pocket. The breeze is quite cool. It's blowing directly across the ground, what there is of it. It's not very strong, as Pete said. Here's Brennan in the back pocket. Members side with the kick. Hepburn couldn't control it. BLAKEY, high kick. They'll contest about 25 metres out. Wheildon. Good grab. So Wheildon only about 35 metres from goal.
Well, here we see on the replay Darren Wheildon, whose nickname is the Doctor, flies for that one and pulls it in. He's kicked 7 goals this season. Has been a little bit down on form, but if he can slot this one, it will be a good start to the game.
Axel was a big help there too with his body, keeping a couple of Eagles out. Wheildon is off target though, so it's 2 points to Fitzroy and the West Coast Eagles yet to go inside their attacking 50.
Crowd building up here at North Hobart. As I said, probably between 15 and 18 would be the expected maximum for this ground, and I think officials would be quite happy if in fact they got that many here this afternoon. Oh, Kemp nearly took what would have been an amazing mark lying on the flat of his back. Mainwaring, who was a star last week in the final quarter when the Eagles finally got up. Hepburn up towards right half forward. Ball pretty close to the boundary line, nearly taken over by Morris, and in fact it is finally trunnelled over down there by Peter Caven. Boundary throw to take place right on 50, right half forward flank for the West Coast Eagles. 22.5 minutes left in the opening term. Most important to get a good start here. Cormac trying to barge his way through. Tried to go through the wall. Didn't really succeed in getting very far, and umpire Brian Sheehan will effect a bounce.
Well, the Eagles are playing a very tall forward line. They've got 5 players over 6'2" up there. Djakovic, Hines, Metropolis, Langdon and Paul Pios.
Again, Cormac trying to go through. He had the same success or lack of it. Waters' kick was partly smothered. Chance for the Eagles now. This is Djakovic. Picks the ball up at half forward. Towering kick up towards the goals and registers the first score for the Eagles this afternoon, 1 behind. Now 2 points, players 1 point. Not too many players in the Eagles lineup would have seen this ground before. I venture to suggest only one, and that would be Trent Nichols. Boundary thrown on the outer side. Cross line, number 29. Caven, in fact it was Stevens, went up. Knock on by Lewis. SEECAMP likewise. Ball hits the deck again. Pretty untidy passage of play out there. Waters finally looks for the hand pass. Hines a little bit slow to get rid of it. Well tackled by Lyon. Fitzroy player down behind the play. And that is Jason Baldwin. Didn't see what happened to him. Gerard, did you catch sight of anything out there?
No, there was a couple of players involved in a collision there, but he looks to be in trouble with his left knee.
Lewis goes up doing the ruck work and gets it down. This is Dundas. His own defensive 50. A little ambitiously tried to go around a man. Eventually got it to Lyon, who boots it through centre wing towards half forward. Abbott, strong mark in front, plays on immediately. Gets it away to Harding, who boots it down inside the attacking 50. Wheildon on the burst about 40 metres from goal. Pulls it back. It looks good. It's home. The first goal of the match. Fitzroy 1-2 and the Eagles are behind.
Yes, well, that was a very confident attack on the goals there from Darren Wheildon. A good strong mark there from Abbott, who lays the ball off. And we see Wheildon dashing out from full forward there, ignores what could have been a handball to his right and slams it home from 35 metres.
Fitzroy come forward again. This is Lyon, spears the pass in, intended for Exel, just wide of the target. Wheildon again. He threw it out like a rugby player there, just wide of the scrum. But the free kick is coming back to be taken by Worsfold. 5/8 do that. Thank you, boys. Here's Lamb going towards the outer side. Pios. Stevens did well to work his way in front, was pushed in the back and will get the free kick.
I think suffice to say handball is coming under closer scrutiny, Dennis.
This is Stevens towards the pocket. Wheildon's in front. What a terrific mark. Using his body to shield Brennan from the ball, and very strong hands.
Yes, it separates good players from ordinary players, being able to take those grabs out in front without fumbling. A one grab player goes a long way up, particularly up in the forward line. It's been an excellent start from this player. This will be his third shot at goal.
And a good start from Fitzroy in general. So Wheildon will kick from just inside the 50. Should be a question of accuracy. Looks good. Fitzroy at 2-2 and the Eagles are behind.
Perhaps Darren Wheildon was inspired by Jason Dunstall's goal-kicking spree yesterday. 2 quick goals, should have been 3 after missing an easy one from 30 metres. But that was an excellent mark under severe pressure from Brennan. And a very deliberate shot at goal split the tall timber.
So Darren Wheildon's kicked 2 goals 1 out of Fitzroy's total of 2 goals 2. 19 minutes left in the first quarter. Hepburn gets the tap for the West Coast. Cormac overruns it. Chance for Kemp. Kemp's kick short and high up towards centre half forward. A marking contest down there. Ball hits the deck. Quickly swooped on by Lewis. And his snapshot at goal was off target and registers only 1 behind. So a point to him, and the other one for the Eagles, kicked by Glenn Jakovich.
Well, surprising to see Lewis attempting a torpedo there.
They don't really need it on this ground. It's not a long one. Drop punt certainly would have made the distance. Mainwaring, good pressure, forced the error from Osborne. No free kick. Lyon out of the centre to half forward. Lamb getting underneath it. Some good shepherding there. He gets away from WYND. A wobbly kick up towards the centre square. Cormac. A hurried hand pass put Roos under plenty of pressure. Hepburn, formerly of North Melbourne, off the ground. Hind, will he be caught? Good block by Matthew Dundas, and he comes out with the ball himself. Farms it back to Stevens. Stevens goes long and wide. He's got Roos on the run and right on the boundary line. A centering kick from him. Where's the dock? Wheildon couldn't take his 3rd mark for the afternoon. And plenty of weight being used down there on the forward line. And Fitzroy coming off second best. Going to be a West Coast Eagles free kick though.
Set a throw, the umpire.
Another one. Well, we mentioned that before. Waterman took it. This is MATERA. MATERA from left centre wing. Driving the Eagles into attack. Pretty close to out of bounds. In fact, it's kept in place. SEECAMP takes the hand pass. Thought it was out. Boundary umpire was a fair way behind the play, just the same. Lyon overrunning the ball, and Cadden's into Mainwaring. Likewise, John Blakey pins him to the ground. That's holding the ball, says the umpire, and that perhaps a little bit harsh. And it's 50 metres. Now, 50 metres on this ground, Gerard, is really the ultimate penalty.
Certainly is. The ground's only 155 metres long, and incredibly only 113 metres wide, which is about 40 or 50 metres less than most grounds in comparison. So John Blakey will now move into a position where he should be able to convert what was a pretty undisciplined free kick.
John Blakey, one of the stalwarts of Fitzroy, kicks a goal. The goal umpire hasn't moved, and John Blakey's pretty happy about it. Full points. Blakey gets Fitzroy's 3rd, and the Lions off to a dream start.
Yes, a very good start from the Fitzroy Lions. They get to win a game for premiership points down here, so they have started in the right fashion. And John Blakey, who's been given the job on Chris Mainwaring, has also started the game well.
The Lions lead by 18 points, just over 17 minutes remaining in this opening term. Shades of yesterday down at Moorabbin. The Crows came out firing. You know what happened though? No Tony Lockett at full forward for the West Coast Eagles. Here's Metropolis, just forward of the centre circle. Plays on now, probing kick. All Fitzroy at the fall of the ball. Paxman goes back and marks it to Roos. Up from the back pocket, sends play towards the outer side wing. WYND has got it. The defensive side of right centre wing. 3-2 to 2 points. Fitzroy lead. The breeze not a factor. WYND towards half forward. Abbott in front. Turnbull over the top. Loose ball knocked on by Osborne. Taken by Nichols, who was claimed high, and he'll get the free kick.
Well, Baldwin has been removed from the ground. He's been replaced from Armstrong. Baldwin started on the dangerous MATERA, and Armstrong has replaced him in that position on the wing.
Now that was a short pass, as we saw from Nichols to Waterman, who kicks it to Paxman. Paxman plays on to Roos. Sweeping handball. This is Lyon, who's been busy. Long kick inside the attacking 50. Wheildon was up. Turnbull in trouble. Swung his boot at it. Harding gets it away. Wheildon, he's been everywhere on the forward line. This kick wide of the target, bounces through for a minor score. So 3-3 plays two behinds. Terrific start by the Lions, trying to rebound after last week, and already looking a different team.
And the Doc has 2-2 of that tally. A better start for Fitzroy, losing 2 games down here last year. Turnbull making a lead. Marking contest out there. Brennan got underneath it. Nichols, the only Eagle that we believe has seen this ground before in a competitive situation. Stevens leading in the race for the ball close to the boundary line. Matthew Dundas on to Roos. They can turn to Stevens, and Stevens' kick up towards Ross Lyon. Lyon from right half forward, or a little bit short of that position. This time Wheildon well underneath the ball. Mark almost claimed down there for the West Coast Eagles by White, and now it's Dwayne Lamb in a defensive role, kicking to the centre wing and off the hands of the pack, out of bounds at that position for a boundary throw-in with under 15 minutes left in the opening term. Ideal conditions for football here today.
Well, Jim Wynd's been given the job on Trent Nichols, and Matthew Dundas is picking up the Eagles' best player for the year in Dean Kemp.
Paxman to Dundas. Oh, Abbott got collected down there, nearly dragged that one in. Osborne took that rather errant hand pass, which came from pressure. Good pressure being applied down there by Fitzroy, but this is MATERA, and he'll go for the short clearing kick.
Nichols on the outer side, got towards half forward. Hines in front. Roos back after it. Arriving was Metropolis. It's out of bounds and will be thrown in. Metropolis, who kicked 6 goals on debut, equaling the record for the West Coast Eagles. That against the Saints back in round 3. Thrown in the bright sunshine on the outer side, and Paul Roos to get the free kick out there. Triple best and fairest with the Lions as recently as last season. Having a good year this year too. He boots it down towards half forward. Abbott the focal point down there. It falls to Armstrong, who kicks it very high down towards full forward. Brennan eased under the ball. White goes off the ground. Didn't gain much there. It's close to the boundary line. Wheildon goes in, sliding in like a base runner going to second. He knocks it out of bounds and we'll have a throw in.
We've had baseball and rugby so far, Dennis. Keep whipping them in.
Well, the baseball a bit better than the rugby.
Fitzroy doing most of the attacking. Blakey at the back went for the one-hander with Mainwaring. He was slightly held there. No mark paid. Snapshot for Fitzroy by Wheildon. He's already kicked 2, but he's now kicked 2 goals 3, so 5 shots for goal in the opening term by Darren Wheildon. Good start for him.
Umpires would probably have you believe we've also seen a bit of basketball.
Yes.
And the bottom line is, I suppose we're getting our money's worth.
Interesting matchup, that Brennan and Wheildon. I think Wheildon may be a bit too agile for Brennan. Maybe he would be a better target for someone like LAIDLEY. Just labouring the point that LAIDLEY is on the bench.
3-4 to 2 behind the score. 13.5 minutes left in the quarter. Abbott from behind misjudged that one. Lyon kicks the ball across his body, only about 20 metres. Osborne, good turn of speed. No one running past to give him support. Finally Cormac goes for the hand pass intended for Abbott. It ricochets from Lewis onto Kemp, and Kemp's long clearing kick gets the Eagles out of danger. Roos though should get there first. He's got to beat 2. Can't do so. Might seek solace from the boundary line. Stevens, the educated hand pass along the boundary line, something in football that in 1992 is becoming an art form.
Well, Dennis, I've never seen a taller forward line set up. Obviously, Michael Malthouse's reaction to the short ground, but it appears that if the ball isn't marked, the Eagles have very few options on the ground if it hits the deck in the forward line.
Kemp taking it over the line, and the hit out coming from Hepburn after the previous boundary throw-in. We're going to see another one now. It's on centre wing outer side. Paxman this time gets the better of his opponent. The boundary umpire might be having some more work to do. No, Lyon tries to keep the ball in play, burrows through. It comes out to Stevens. His kick goes straight into the mat on the mark, and we'll see another throw-in. So plenty of work for the boundary umpire out there.
I do notice that Trent Nichols has just been moved down, obviously with a roving commission on the forward line.
Paxman, big leap. Kemp across his body up towards the 50-metre line. No mark taken. And the umpire this time has found a free kick, and it's going to the West Coast Eagles. And that is taken down there by Metropolis up towards left half forward. The target down there was Langdon. The ball fisted away by Paul Morris, and once again the boundary throw-in.
A good defence there by Paul Morris. He's been given a couple of difficult tasks. He's got Langdon today. Last week he had Gary Ablett, so he's surely being tested by Robert Shaw.
Cormac to WYND, who goes off the ground, quick thinking towards the outer side. It ricochets off Turnbull's boot. This is Dundas. Did he have the ball? I'm not sure that he did, but throw it in, says the umpire. 3-4 players, 2 behinds. Hepburn from the side, Caven. MATERA back in the team this afternoon. Probing kick well inside the attacking 50. Oh, terrific mark, Paul Roos.
He's been in excellent form this year, averaging 23 possessions. All-Australian captain last year. Cormac,
who played 10 games for these West Coast Eagles, got it across to Caven. Who boots it down towards the attacking 50. Very gutsy mark there by Abbott. Going back hard into unexplored territory there.
It was, of course, against the West Coast, Dennis, that Abbott broke his leg when he was playing for Hawthorn.
That's right, Subiaco Oval. Far cry from this ground. Abbott, long kick, they contest a couple of metres out. Wheildon the leaper. Harding claimed. Wheildon, hurried kick out of bounds on the full in the left full forward pocket. Darren Wheildon has had about 7 or 8 possessions already in this game.
He's had 5 effective shots at goal for a 2-3 scoreline against his name, so he's doing pretty well. Chris Mainwaring kicking in, a player who was one of the handful who turned it around for the Eagles last week at the MCG when they snuck home by 1 point from Richmond. Worsfold kicks up towards midfield, a marking contest over the head of Paxman, and Troy Ugle gets it out to Waters, and Waters goes straight down the ground. Marking contest there at half forward. Guard got 2 hands to it, couldn't bring it in. This is a chance for the Eagles' first goal. Kick by Hines is going close, but again not close enough, and through for only 1 behind. So they've registered 3 behind so far. Kicked by Hines, Jakovic and Chris Lewis.
Well, Troy Ugle has replaced Ryan. There's no doubt that the Eagles were top heavy, and they've brought another runner onto the ground, which they've been sorely missing to this point.
I'll call myself an Eastern Stater in asking this question. Why Troy Ugle doesn't seem to get that many games. When I've seen him play, he usually plays well. Pios. Paul Pios from left half forward, too far out to score. From 60 to 65 metres. Caven gets the front position. Ball fisted clear. Dundas will look for Roos, couldn't find him. Good block down there by Ugle. And the ball taken over the boundary line for a throw in the West Coast Eagles' left forward pocket. 9 minutes left in the quarter. The Eagles goalless so far. First time they've seen this ground. Metropolis went for the hand pass. Wasn't a particularly good one. Ugle's kick is short. It goes to Guard. His kick not much longer, a lot higher, but out of bounds on the full, so it will be a free kick to the Eagles, and it should be taken down there. Let's see who is going to take it. It's MATERA. Langdon, did he get it inside the line? Boy, that was close. Just.
Langdon's been shifted out to centre half forward and has been picked up by Roos, but just getting away from him at the moment.
Karl Langdon, who kicked 3 goals last week in the 1-point win over Richmond, kicks from right on 50. And he too has failed to register a goal, has he? 1 behind. Kicked by Langdon, so 4 points to the Eagles, still to register a major. They trail by 18 points.
Well, Karl Langdon kicked 3 very important goals against Richmond in the final quarter last week when he was shifted to full forward.
Caven kicking it straight up the middle. Hepburn, who's been lively. Mainwaring, well, he tried to go through there. He didn't succeed, but he did succeed in getting the ball to Worsfold, who boots it down towards half forward, and the mark is held by Guard. 3-4 to 4 behind. Guard from centre half back. Long kick towards half forward. MATERA, clever mark opposed to Paxman. MATERA wants to run and does. He comes away from half back. He kicks towards half forward. Too much carry for Langdon. Metropolis goes off the ground. Against the flow. Nichols does brilliantly. Langdon through the pack. Lewis an opportunity. About 40 metres out from goal. Guard is claimed. Fitzroy have got the numbers. Armstrong did well. Langdon is hurt off the ball. And Newgill slow to get up. Meantime, Dundas boots towards centre wing. Jakovic took on BLAKEY and lost. It's yard free, taken by Lyon. Very high kick inside the 50. Abbott almost. Brennan. Was he taken high? No. We'll have a ball up just inside the 50.
Langdon still in the hands of the trainers. I think he copped a high one. He's obviously going to stay on anyway, so that's the good news. Nothing too serious down there. Mainwaring looking for the free kick, with no one going anywhere. The Eagles, through their skipper, able to tie it up. John Worsfold, once you're tackled by him, you don't get too far as a rule.
Hepburn's been moved to centre half back on Abbott, with Ryan Turnbull coming off the ground.
Knocked down to Lyon. He couldn't take it. A fumble. A hand pass comes out in the direction of Jakovic, still inside the centre square. Straight down the centre he goes. Nichols was the flyer for the Eagles. Knock on by Roos. Pios showing a good turn of speed, picks it up and then loses it just as quickly. Lewis will have to be quick. Stevens tackle late and ineffective. Down towards Ugle, who's a good overhead mark. And the umpire has played that well.
A free kick.
Yeah, free kick, was it?
Yep.
So Troy Ugle, a chance to bring up the Eagles' first goal. Here it is in replay. We'll watch for on the shoulder then.
Yes, Paul Morris comes over the top, and rather than just punching his hands away, takes him head high.
Ugle right on 50, kicks it goal, looks pretty good. That'll be their first goal for the Eagles. Troy Ugle finally breaking the ice in the closing stages of the opening term. 3-4 to 1-4.
Undisciplined play there from Paul Morris. A little bit lazy in that attempt. It should have just been a swipe across Ugle's hands.
Good kick.
And it does make him pay the ultimate price with a long kick at goal from the 50-metre line.
Back into the centre. Troy Ugle getting the first goal for the West Coast Eagles as Nichols comes out of the centre towards the right half forward flank. Lewis got a shocking bounce but ducks back quickly. Short pass in on the run, tries to find Ugle again, just a little bit too wide for him. Well, the Eagles looking a little bit better now as Nichols overruns the ball. Fitzroy able to tie it up at left half forward, and we will see a bounce some 30 metres out from the Eagles' goal.
Yes, Malthouse has reacted savagely, I guess, to the structure of the side. Too tall initially. Now he has Ugle and Lewis down there, 2 runners.
Just over 5 minutes remaining till quarter time. This is Roos. He gave it away. Pios across the goal face. Continues to run close to the boundary line. Lewis looking to keep it in initially, and then decided, I think, late to carry it across the boundary line in the tackle of Guard. Thrown in with Langdon in front. Roos over the top. Dundas in trouble, goes back after it. Lewis controlled it pretty well. Metropolis working close to the ground but going nowhere, and a whistle. So a ball up about 40 metres from the Eagles' attacking goal. They trail by 12 points. Fitzroy coming out very quickly. The Eagles steadying now. Langdon wins it down. Lyon, very busy player in this opening term. Hand passes towards the wing. Mainwaring with courage, going back with the run of the ball. Well played. He props. Little chip pass. Langdon marks inside the 50. He could go close from here. What breeze there is blowing from his right to left and will aid the kick. Karl Langdon, who starts at left, a long way left. It hangs out there, off hands and out of bounds in the left full forward pocket. So 4 minutes till quarter time. 3-4 to 1-4. The Lions lead.
Boundary throw in. Eagles forward pocket. Knocked down by guard. MATERA, a snapshot. And again the ball drifting across the goal face and out of bounds on the other side. So almost a carbon copy of one we had some 1 minute back. Chris Lewis lamenting. So it's going to be Langdon against Roos. Won by Roos. Taps it down in front of him. And picked up by Lyon, who, as Dennis mentioned, has been pretty busy in the opening term. Marking contest out there. Might have almost been a free kick. Not paid by the umpire. Lamb takes the rebound. Likewise, he gets grabbed closely by Jimmy Wine. And Fitzroy out of the danger zone through Matthew Armstrong up towards centre wing. It's an Eagles ball. They're coming back a little bit stronger in the opening term, the closing stages thereof. Stevens, fine mark taken by Pios. He misjudged it completely, Stevens. So Paul Pios giving them some drive out there, left half forward. Shocking kick. Oh, great mark. Taken down there by Lyon. Over to Roos. He's covered a lot of ground in the opening term. BLAKEY off his hands. Going to be a Fitzroy ball. SEECAMP gives it back to John BLAKEY, who's already kicked a goal in the opening quarter. BLAKEY straight down the centre of the field. A marking contest. Abbott was his target. Couldn't take it. The chance for Fitzroy, but it goes Waters' way. It came initially down there from Harding. Loose ball still to be won at midfield. Up towards right half forward again. And SEECAMP with a quick hand pass, rather deft to Lyon. He's probably Fitzroy's best player so far. He's been in everything. Jakovic punches clear. Intended for MAINWARING. Grabs his opponent high. But it's picked up by Joe Cormack. He hooks it back up toward the true centre half forward position. Wheildon on the burst. Runs it goal and gets his third. So 3-3 to the Dock. 4-4 to Fitzroy. They lead by 3 goals.
Yeah, so he was favoured by the bounce there, Darren Wheildon. It was unfortunate for Brennan, who slipped over. See the ball won well there by Joe Cormack, an ex-Eagle. Brennan went with the closed hands. He should have had both palms facing the ball, paid the price, with Wheildon kicking his 3rd goal for the quarter.
So the margin 18 points, just over 2 minutes remaining till quarter time. Paxman is up, but straight to Lamb. The Eagles could do with a late goal. Brilliant smother by BLAKEY, but the ball deflected across to Waters, running back with the flood of it. SEECAMP, picked up in the November draft last year, goes in short. Cormack to guard. 3 West Australians combining there. This is Lyon alongside the centre circle. He's away again. Kicks to the advantage of Wheildon. It pitches just in front of him. He tracks it towards the pocket. He pulls it back. Vacant goal square. It's through. 4. Oh, terrific effort. 4 goals to Darren Wheildon.
Well, that was a missed kick. But everything's going right for Darren Wheildon in this quarter. As we see here, Ross Lyon has been tagged by Dwayne Lamb, breaks away with his left foot. Brennan, who's a little bit slow for Wheildon, is in pursuit again, but Wheildon kicks another magnificent goal from a tight angle.
4 goals, 3 Darren Wheildon has so far. That's not a bad sort of an effort in the first quarter. Dundas-esque. Roos knocks it on up towards half forward. Hepburn gives away the hand pass to Waterman. Waterman, a high kick. Back to Stevens, who nearly took the mark. Pios from left half forward, long way from goal, into the square. And the ball fisted clear. Caven, with that educated kick to the boundary line, succeeds in finding it. SEECAMP was there and had just eluded him out of bounds with under 1 minute remaining in the opening term.
So LAIDLEY on the ground and on the forward line as Langdon goes up. Interfered with the Fitzroy player, though. Done about that. And Paxman doing a good job as a ruckman to take this free kick in the back pocket. Chips it across to centre half back. Finds Cormack in open space. He again goes short to Roos alongside the centre circle. Pops it over to Osborne. Now if he breaks clear here, he could score. He's pushed off the kick. It wobbles down towards the pocket. Worsfold goes for the safety of the boundary line. Wheildon's in there. Worsfold's into him. Wheildon's into the fence. And it will be thrown in. Something of an anticlimax. Plenty happening.
And John Worsfold now has been shifted onto the doctor, Darren Wheildon.
5-4 to 1-4. Dying seconds of this opening term. Abbott tries to flick it behind. Hepburn Only as far as Armstrong. Down he goes, slung wide to WYND, who pulls it back towards the kick-off line on the siren. So quarter time at North Hobart. Fine turn by the Lions, who lead by 24 points. It's 5-4 to 1-4.
From North Hobart, the second quarter. Fitzroy leading by 4 goals, 5-4 to 1-4. Fitzroy going to the right of screen in this term. Paxman, who's got an excellent leap, taps it down. WYND onto Matthew Dundas. Dundas up towards half forward. Waters right on 50, and he gets taken too high, and he'll take the free kick at the right half-back flank. Fitzroy yet to win a game here, except in Foster's Cup. Soundly beaten last year by Hawthorn and St Kilda. Langdon kick up towards left half forward or right half forward, and he follows the kick down well. And a long kick off the boot up towards full forward. Caven ducks back, can't take the mark, and the ball is over the boundary line in front of David Hines. Boundary throw in under the scoreboard here at North Hobart, and that in this quarter is the Eagles' right forward pocket, only about 10 metres from the behind post. Langdon and Paxman. And Paxman, excellent leap, knocked on by guard, picked up by Nichols, snapshot across his body, and he has registered only one behind. So Trent Nichols with 1 point, taking the Eagles' tally to 1 goal 5. They trail Fitzroy 5 goals 4.
Trent Nichols, the 17th man taken in the 86 draft. He was selected by Richmond, came from Sandy Bay down here in Tasmania. There's the kick straight up the middle. The Lions playing with a lot of confidence at the moment. Lewis left it behind. Stevens, hurried kick out of the congestion. Well played by Armstrong to Cormac. Over the top to Roos. Gets by an Eagle, pulls it back for a more central situation. On the lead, Wheildon. Could have almost been taken high. Nothing doing from the umpire, but now it's going to be a free kick, I fancy. And it's going to be Peter MATERA's. Well,
it looked like a left arm hook to me from LAIDLEY on the doctor. No, it's John Worsfold.
Well, MATERA got the free kick after quite a few collisions in all that congestion. Goes towards the outer side. Jakovic takes the mark out there. This game needing to lift in tempo, certainly from the Eagles' perspective. Searching kick inside the 50. Metropolis surrounded. Pios is slung as he kicks. Open goal square. He falls short of that though. BLAKEY in the back pocket. Channels play towards the wing. 3-on-1 situation for the Eagles. Lewis well shepherded by LAIDLEY. Lewis with some time, and the whistle is blown. It's going to be a free kick to LAIDLEY. Well, if ever advantage needed to be paid, I would have imagined that was the ideal situation. Why stop it there? Well, LAIDLEY's got the ball, left half forward, sets it up for Ugle, who flies from behind. Cave in the big fist away. Ball runs free towards the outer side. Back goes MATERA. Too much pace for Armstrong. MATERA right half forward, goes towards the pocket. Hines going across, can't get there in time. It's out of bounds and will be thrown in.
Throw in right forward pocket for the West Coast Eagles. Paxman with Hines, won by the latter, but straight down to Dundas. He tracks the boundary line with his kick. Armstrong gets pushed by MATERA, and it's going to be a free kick to Armstrong, which he will take at left half back for a push in the back. Started on the bench this afternoon, Armstrong. And an accurate pass accepted by Stevens, another of the club stalwarts down at Fitzroy. And Paxman doing well so far. Hand pass to Roos, who's covering plenty of territory, as I mentioned, from back line to forward line. A marking contest down there. No one can bring it down. Coming up with the ball is Hepburn, but it's not his, it's the umpire's. And we will see a bounce. Jakovic, the last man to get up. Abbott getting the front position. Lewis is in there, knocks the ball down, tried to find Mainwaring with it. BLAKEY, who's Fitzroy's other goal kicker. They've only got 2 at the moment. They might get another one here. WYND well pinned by Lewis, couldn't get clear. It was the fine tackle. Paxman, Kemp, a quick kick out of defence, not very far. Osborne in front, the ball knocked away from him. Lamb and Harding. Picked up by Harding at left half forward. A long shot in towards the goal, and he has missed. One behind or out of bounds. It's out of bounds. And so the free kick for the Eagles will be taken at the right back pocket now, presumably by that man there, Chris Lewis.
Well, I've heard that the Eagles are a little bit underdone at the moment. little bit off the boil, but the way they're approaching the ball, they look like they need an ice pick to get themselves going.
There's White towards the outer side, knocked on by Jakovic, taken by Blakey. Who sends play out towards right half forward. It's inside the 50. It's run about 20 metres. Worsfold strongly through. Gets it to Kemp, who swings it out wide towards Lamb, who lets it bounce. Now Dwayne Lamb's in trouble. Gave it back to the Voice, but the Voice had moved. That was Metropolis. Dundas has got it. Centres it. Good kick. Cormac inside the centre square. 5-4 to 1-5. The Lions lead. Cormac chips it inside the 50. Wide. Great use of the body. Got rid of Kemp and then dived back to claim it on his chest. He'll kick from right on the 50.
Yes, well, Jim Wynd, who started on Trent Nichols, has been shifted onto Dean Kemp, who's averaged 25 possessions this year for the Eagles and been probably their best player. And he's kept him well down and now is shooting for goal himself.
Fitzroy looking very dangerous on their forward line. Wynd across the face of goal. Big pack. Hepburn confronted and decides to concede a behind. The crowd not happy about that. There's some of them. Gavin Exel coming eyeball to eyeball with Mark Hepburn there as White kicks in. Not a particularly good kick. Abbott, good strong mark in front.
No trajectory kick it was, and Abbott read it pretty well. He'll be looking for Wheildon. Oh, Lyon chips it in front to take the mark. I'll give credit to the doc there, whether he saw Lyon just about to drift across. We'll pick that up on replay.
Well, a long kick from Abbott, who's playing centre half forward.
Sort of a clever shepherd, really, wasn't it? Or a half shepherd. Lyon goes at goal. It's drifting across. Have to wait on the goal umpire for that one. It's a goal. So Lyon gets his first, and Fitzroy go further ahead. 6-5 to 1-5.
Yes, well, the Lions continue to impress down in Hobart. They certainly needed it, and I think it was well called from you, Peter, there. Wheildon did just shepherd him out there a little bit, John Worsfold.
A token gesture at going for the mark, wasn't it?
Yes, it was intelligent play, and Lyon didn't let him down, taking a good mark and goal.
Fitzroy going further ahead. Ross Lyon with that strong mark in front of goal, putting through his first. And if the Eagles are going to get back into this, it's time to start. 5 goals the difference. 19 minutes left before half-time. Paxman with that lovely leap that he does possess. Lewis tried to go off the ground, and there he is. Lyon again. A lion-hearted effort from him. Wynd doesn't get the bounce that he... Not Wynd, it's Harding, actually. Doesn't get the bounce that he wanted. And the Eagles will get out of danger. Laidley's kick for very long, perhaps, as Stevens takes the mark at right centre wing.
Bright sunny conditions as Stevens decides to play on. Another ambitious. Dundas. Lyon in all sorts of trouble. That's the closest Waterman's been to him for some time. It comes back to Lyon. He's at right half forward. He keeps it in front. Wynd. Sliding in there was Waterman. And there'll be a ball up right half forward for Fitzroy, who lead by 5 goals.
With the loss of McCormack and Broderick from the centre square set up for the Fitzroy side has meant that somebody has to take over, and Ross Lyon is doing that magnificently so far today.
Fitzroy generally working much harder than the Eagles. Waters, clever handball. MAINWARING applies a tackle on Dundas. Blakey's got the ball at the base of all of that. And another bounce just inside the boundary line. This ground in very good condition. Hepburn and Abbott will be opposed here. Hepburn wins it. Blakey's got it. Off to Dundas over the top. This is Cormac just outside the 50. No real pressure. Pulls it back. Too much. Wheildon's down there. Pushed in the side in midair. And the umpire says that was fair enough. So behind to Fitzroy. We go to 6-6. The West Coast Eagles are 1-5. Breeze not a factor in this game as Laidley marks up from the back pocket. Sends play towards the outer side wing. Jakovic will need to mark this. He was outnumbered 2-1. He did very well. It was an intelligent kick too. Favoured the man who was offering the lead. So Jakovic, the defensive side of the wing, towards half forward. All Fitzroy there. Metropolis did well. Gave a contest. Got it on the ground. Armstrong at close quarters to SEECAMP, who stood up in the tackle and gets the ball off to Abbott. Back it comes to Armstrong. It was going to be a Fitzroy free. Advantage is paid. The kick inside the 50. Hepburn dropping back. Takes the mark for the Eagles, and he's playing quite well.
Yes, he and Djakovic, the two talls down there, doing well. Hepburn, long bomb to centre wing. Nobody really went for the mark. Dwayne Lamb, aided by a good shepherd, towards Langdon. Centering kick from him. Langdon starting at full forward. Caven, good fist away. Guard. And the Fitzroy defence is able to run it out through John BLAKEY. As you said, Dennis, they're working a little bit harder than their opponents at the moment. Cormac, sold his opponent, or sold his teammate into trouble there. Kemp, a knock on. Can Joe make amends? He does. A long kick, but it's pretty high, and those real hospital jobs, and no trouble. Djakovic to drift back.
An unbelievably poor decision for a handball there from Cormac.
Is it a 50? It is.
He had Ross Lyon on his own, just with a little chip one over the top. He elected to go into the centre, put his teammates under pressure.
So 2 50-metre penalties given so far today on this small ground. Hepburn it is with the free kick up towards half forward. Lewis reads the play well. Down to Ugle. He's already kicked one. He's their only goal kicker so far. And this time he has missed just, I might add, and threw for only one behind. So Troy Eagles' tally goes to 1 goal 1 out of the Eagles' tally of 1 goal 6. And it will be Caven to kick the ball back into play.
And once again, another poor decision there. David Hines would have walked into an open goal if Ugle had have elected to give him the handball.
Caven kicking in. This is Paxman. Lyon again. Very busy. Boots it out wide. Roos has got it. Forward of right centre wing. Paul Roos. Chips inside the 50. Exel's in front. Knocked away by White. Harding. Hard against the boundary line. Towards the pocket. Wheildon goes off the ground. It's his afternoon. What sort of a goal is that?
I'd say brilliant.
He's kicked 5 and Fitzroy is 7-6. The Eagles are 1-6.
Well, for its sheer unusualness, if I can use that, Gerard, that's got to be goal of the day.
Well, I think it set new standards in the soccer type goal in AFL. I'm not sure what he was trying to do there with the tap on, but he made amends with an absolutely phenomenal shot at goal from the boundary line. A classic goal in AFL.
Just over 15 minutes then remaining till half-time. Marvellous goal by Wheildon. He really is having a field day as Lamb sends it down to Ugle, who marks just inside the boundary. The kick from just outside the 50. So the margin out to 36 points now. Ugle, high kick, they'll contest in the square. In from the side was Hines. Fitzroy back in number, and they concede a behind.
The two behinds rushed to Fitzroy, or by Fitzroy, to the West Coast Eagles. 7-6 to 1-7. And win, lose or draw, they'll be talking about that goal by the dock for quite a long time, I think. When you're hot, you're hot. Abbott in front. Good mark in front of Hepburn. The former Hawk veteran. One of his best games so far for his new club. But not a well-directed kick. Scott Waters on the edge of the centre square, taking the grab, and a strong one it was at that. The hand pass, effective, to Djakovic. In short, he's got a man loose down there, and Dwayne Lamb. Lamb with a short pass, and he's found Mainwaring right on the boundary line at left half forward. Kick straight into the man on the mark. Well, it's that sort of day for the West Coast Eagles. Harding takes the hand pass at right centre wing. Knocked away by LAIDLEY. The ball into the arms of Osborne, who gets taken high by Waterman. Could have been a free kick there. The umpire says no. MATERA plays on. Long looping hand pass. Didn't really favour Waterman there. Lewis tracks it well. Tries to get it to LAIDLEY, who fumbles. And they're going to be a little bit lucky, the West Coast Eagles. A free kick for a high tackle. And they will get out of it, at least momentarily. Chris Lewis with the free, short of right centre wing. 13.5 minutes left before half-time, and in that time, the Eagles badly needing some goals. They've only got one so far, kicked by Troy Ugle. Up and under kick, doesn't get too much distance. Djakovic was the flyer. He comes down to Hepburn, but Matthew Dundas reading the play well, kicks to half forward. Overrunning the ball was White, has to backtrack, can't do it effectively. Harding, well shepherded by Wheildon, kicks into the man on the mark, and Keppy's got it again, racing into an open goal, 30 metres out, shoots and gets it. (8-6 to 1-7), and the Lions are alight, Gerard.
Yeah, we're used to seeing one-sided affairs at the Hobart ground, but unusually for the experiment down here. It's Fitzroy that are basically having a field day. It's a picnic here, and Harding wants a piece of the action. A left foot kick is smothered by Kemp. He follows up and kicks his own goal.
54 plays 13. The Eagles in all sorts of trouble at the present time. Paxman lunging in there. Ball continues to roll the Eagles' way. We've got a whistle and a bounce. Ooh.
Well, a good side would respond at this moment of time, and possibly this is the response, but it needs a little bit more than pushing and shoving from the wingman. It needs actions.
Paxman thumps at about 15 metres. In the road is Hepburn, back inside the attacking 50. The Eagles surround this ball, but they're not moving it with any conviction. Eventually Lewis, strong tackle though by Lyon, got rid of him. Lyon comes away and boots it towards the outer side. 2-on-1 situation for Fitzroy now. Kemp did well. Hepburn on the assist, taken high and must get the free kick.
Lamb on, Nichols off.
So Hepburn is at right half back. 8-6 to 1-7. Wheildon has 5 goals, including a classic off the ground just moments ago. And Kemp, far and away the Eagles' best player over the course of the season. Trying hard again this afternoon. Hines was up. They're not handling the ball with any surety. Langdon that time fumbled. Mainwaring in the grasp. Gets the kickoff down towards the pocket. Pios going back. Big fist away from the defender though. Caven gets it out of bounds in the pocket. And it will be thrown in.
Well, they've played within themselves the last couple of weeks. They had the draw against Brisbane. They had a 1-point victory over Richmond. 6 premiership points for 1 point. Seems a little bit unbelievable. And today, they're once again playing without any spark, any intensity.
Ball's at their half-forward line. Picked up by Jakovic from 40 metres out. Good-looking kick this one. It's a goal.
And Jakovic has tally 1-1 out of the West Coast of 2-7. And well, you mentioned without spark, maybe that's the spark that they need, Jared.
Yeah, possibly, Peter, but it's just an individual effort here. There's nothing, no semblance of team play. An exceptional left foot goal from the youngster. But they're playing nothing like we know the Eagles can play as a team. And they do need a lift all around the ground.
Then Jakovic getting their second goal, their first this quarter. Knocked down by that same player. There's a fair bit of territory out to centre wing. Mainwaring down towards left half forward, marking contest out there. Lewis came in late. Rebound goes to Guard, and Guard takes it over the boundary line in front of Paul Pios. It will be a throw in about 40 metres from the Eagles' goal.
Another example there, Chris Lewis. It's almost as if they're playing like millionaires, the Eagles, trying to play champagne football. There's no basics out there. And the Fitzroy side is showing them exactly how to do it.
Lamb to Langdon. Beautiful smother down there. Ball hacked out of the pack up towards the centre half forward position. Paxman, strong punch away. Worsfold went this way, that way. Now comes back onto the right foot. The high kick. One's the forward's hate, but Lamb in position. Came back on only a few minutes ago to replace Trent Nichols, and he has a chance to bring up the Eagles' third goal. So if they can get this one, they will be almost within striking distance with 10 minutes remaining before half time. So a very important kick. 45 metres out, distance won't be a problem. Take that back. Off the hands of the pack and through for only one behind. I guess on that you'd have to say not a good kick. 8-6 to 2-8 it is. Dundas just inside the line. Chris Lewis stands the mark. He's not going any further. He might come back across. He's got SEECAMP running for him. Decides to go straight up the ground, so they've really done little there. Morris overruns it. Knock on by Langdon. Back to Armstrong with a quick kick out towards Paxman. And every time I've seen him play, he's got better, but he fumbles here and allows Jakovic in. The old story, give them a rap and they let you down. Pios, short of right half forward flank, kicks the ball across his body. SEECAMP in front. This time makes no mistake and takes the mark. Just up from full back, kicks over the head of Ugle. Marking contest. Oh, Mainwaring made it no contest. Strong grab, had the run in and took it quite well over John Blakey.
Terrible kick from SEECAMP, who set Blakey up by kicking it too long.
Langdon as the ball punched away. That was good play for Morris. So for Troy out of danger. It's up to centre wing. Roos still running. He was back line, forward line, midfield in the first quarter. And again, the turnover, which Shaw wouldn't be too happy about. Waters Goes out towards right centre wing. He's got MATERA running for him, and he'll put the Eagles into attack.
Look at him go around the outer side. MATERA, a third bounce, carries him inside the 50, but the kick is a wayward one. He sprays it right, and it goes through for a minor score. That could have been a lifter had the kick been straight. 2-9 plays 8-6. Just over 8.5 minutes remaining till half-time. Caven, members side. Roos from behind Mainwaring. Mainwaring showed courage to come back on him. Langdon, who's trying hard on the forward line, pushes the ball across the boundary line, and it will be thrown in.
John Worsfold's been moved up onto the ball, and Mitchell White has been given the task of looking after the doctor, Darren Wheildon.
Roos thumps it wide. WYND goes off the ground. Cormac back to WYND. Little flick across to Dundas. Dundas on the wing. Boots it down towards half forward. Osborne comes up to meet it. Gathered it brilliantly. WYND on the overlap. He's run on strongly. Can he get by Brennan? He deserves to. No, met solidly by Waters. LAIDLEY in the grass, but comes to Hepburn and off to Waterman, who breaks away from half back. Long raking handball. Worsfold now on the end of it goes looking for Lewis. Roos put his body in and was pushed in the back according to the umpire. So Paul Roos to take this kick up towards centre half back with his side leading by 20. What is that? 33 points. 33 points. 54-21.
Game has lifted in tempo. One gets the feeling that the Eagles realise that now is crunch time.
Brennan dragged to ground. Dundas left before he had the ball. Courage shown from Lyon crashing in there. Waterman and the presence of mind from Caven to claim a mark.
Caven goes across his body. Didn't really look where he kicked it. So Waters chipping in nicely in front of Harding. And Fitzroy players looking for a holding the ball decision. There is none. And it'll be a bounce right on 50 at their right half forward flank. If the Eagles can get another couple of goals before half time, they're right back in this match after a very slow start. Abbott up high. Kemp, a quick kick, but straight out of bounds on the full. Fitzroy free kick. And it'll be taken by that man on screen, Matthew Dundas.
Jim WYND has done a reasonably good job on Dean Kemp.
Where's the doc? Leads up and has to duck back because Scott Waters has got the ball. Waters goes to the outer side. Armstrong and MATERA. MATERA gets the better bounce, but it's over the boundary line, and it'll be thrown in right on the 50-metre mark. 6.5 minutes left before the break. And as I said, in that time, if the Eagles can get a couple of goals, then we have got a real contest on our hands. Knocked down by Hepburn, Langdon, Worsfold. Doing better at midfield now. SEECAMP in front and takes a strong mark.
Too tall and too strong for Trent Nichols, particularly if Nichols plays him from behind.
SEECAMP again going to the outer side. 2-on-1 in favour of Fitzroy, and the former Geelong player takes the mark. Exel looking for someone to get the hand pass to. Finally gets Dundas, and Fitzroy will be able to get out of this. Cormac, who's been pretty busy so far, had a good first quarter. Again, didn't look where he kicked it, but it's okay. And the man who is just about best on the ground for Fitzroy, next to the dock at the moment in terms of effectiveness, takes the mark. Paul Roos, certainly leading by example, isn't he?
And there he is on replay. Paul Roos has been shifted up forward.
And now into the arms of Osborne, who led out to take the mark. They didn't really gain much in terms of meterage. Shaw barking instructions. I think he'd be pretty happy so far, Robert. Within kicking distance, Osborne. Oh, he drills that one. That's a goal. Osborne's first, and Fitzroy increased their lead 9-6 to 2-9.
Well, that, of course, was the value of the chip kick from Paul Roos. Richard Osborne is a far better shot at goal than he is. And there's the replay. Splits the goals mid-centre. That may be a tautology.
I think you're right.
And he kicks his first goal for the afternoon.
So the margin 39 points. Just under 5 minutes till half-time. One down by Jakovic. It comes to Waterman, who boots it down towards half forward. Ugle in front, knocked away by Morris, taken by SEECAMP, who's been reliable back there. Morris has got the ball now, goes looking for Caven. Pios gave a contest, aggressively came at that one. Ball spills free back towards full forward. In fact, it slides across the face, and Guard takes it across the line. Jeremy Guard, number 6 there. A jumper with a WA history, worn by Ron Alexander and Ian McCulloch. As Pios is off the ground now. Metropolis is coming back on. Down goes Ugle, taken by Lewis. Needs a little work.
Champagne football, one would suggest.
Out of bounds on the full, in the left full forward pocket.
Percentages in that kick from Chris Lewis would be about 1 in 1,000.
Well, probably for him, a couple better. He's a mercurial player. This is guard. Now Jakovic off the ground but in the wrong direction. Worsfold, Langdon, Waterman, now Kemp. A question of accuracy for Kemp. He goes from 50 metres out. Hasn't got the carry. No, Caven gets back. It was accurate enough, but Caven has marked it right on the line.
And Fitzroy's defence standing up firm under the pressure that the Eagles are exerting at the moment. And Paul Abbott, he's marked just about everything that's come his way today. Took a long time to recover from that broken leg, which he incurred at Subiaco, as we mentioned earlier. Stevens coming back to some of his best form, and Cormac will be very pleased to be doing so well against his former club. Osborne with pace. BLAKEY, a goal kicker already, gets ridden down by Waterman, and a stalemate, says the umpire. Didn't really have too much of an opportunity there to get rid of it, but he was up and running with the torn jumper. John BLAKEY, here it is in replay. What's your decision?
Well, it's an excellent tackle, and as you said, Peter, he had no opportunity to get rid of that ball once tackled, so a good decision from the umpire.
Hepburn, Lamb, Osborne, fine tackle, but Lamb with strength is able to break it. The kick up the half forward. Ugle, a fumble with the mark, but he might recover okay to apply the tackle. He does. He's still in there fighting Ugle, who kicked the Eagles' first goal. They've been hard to come by. Hines with Armstrong. Armstrong picks it up, looks for someone to give the hand pass to. That someone was Stevens. Hines takes the ball over the boundary line, and the throw-in will take place at the Eagles' right half forward flank. 2.5 minutes before half time. A kick and a half to goal from there. Hines and Paxman. WYND runs into Ugle. The ball spills free close to the boundary line, and in fact taken over in front of Armstrong. The throw-in now on centre wing. Fitzroy gaining a few metres as the clock ticks down, with the scoreboard reading 9-6 to 2-9. Fitzroy hasn't done that well here, as we mentioned last year. Paxman, but today, so far at least, they've made every post a winner. Long way to go. Jakovic, high kick to half forward. Marking contest. Metropolis underneath the ball. Ball socket off the ground. Lewis knocked outside 50. Weight being used there again. Cormac. Dundas running with the flight of the ball. Courageous grab. So Matthew Dundas, the attrition rate is still high, and Jakovic strong. Takes the mark at centre half back, or just a little bit wide at that position.
That's Caven, who collided with Worsfold, who was in full flight. Hines is coming off the ground. Pios is coming back on. So Malthouse making plenty of changes as Jakovic boots towards half forward. Paxman works his way in front. MATERA did well, reaching over the top. Lamb into the path of Kemp now. Kemp goes in short to Ugle. So Ugle in the pocket. He's already kicked one. That was the first for the West Coast Eagles. Has a chance to kick his second and the team's third from about 20 metres out on a sharp angle. Troy Ugle leans back on the kick. It looks pretty good. It's a goal. Ugle gets his second. The Eagles are 3-9, trailing Fitzroy 9-6.
And here's the mark from Troy Ugle coming up on screen. A handball from Dwayne Land sets up Dean Kemp. A 30-metre chip kick, which is unselfish play but good team play, and Ugle finished with a goal.
40 seconds remaining in the opening half then. Paxman opposed to Jakovic, taken by Kemp, who boots it towards half forward. Well done by SEECAMP. Sends play towards the outer side. Paxman meters in the clear, and the marking, especially through the midfield, has been very poor by the West Coast Eagles. A lot of Fitzroy players running unattended. Paxman finds Roos. Well, he was 15 metres in the clear.
Well, he's too mobile for Mark Hepburn. And the Eagles started the game with 5 players on the forward line over 6 foot. Now they've got 1.
Here's Roos. He'll kick from just inside the 50. Normally a very good kick. What's he done with this? It's fallen away to the close side. On the siren, it's a behind. So 9-7 to 3-9 at half-time. Powerhouse performance by Fitzroy. They've combined very well. Their run has been good. They've generally directed the ball into the right positions on this ground too. They've kicked the players of size and run off those situations, whether they've been marked or not. And I think the West Coast Eagles have got to reform and just look at how they play this ground too. It's caught them out a little bit, not finding the space they're normally accustomed to on grounds like Subiaco Oval. So half-time at North Hobart, Fitzroy lead it 9-7 to 3-9.
Eagles came from behind last week to defeat Richmond. They were 20 points behind at three-quarter time and got up to win. Can they do it again today? The job is ahead of them. This is going to be the quarter that could sort things out. BLAKEY gets one a little bit too high, and a pretty untidy affair to start the third quarter. The obvious decision from the umpire is to bounce it again just wide of the centre circle.
Chris Lewis beginning the quarter at full forward.
And Karl Langdon started the match there. Kemp, clean possession, gets well tackled by Abbott. The ball spills free. Worsfold gets the hand pass away onto LAIDLEY, but the whistle has gone. And it's going to be a free kick.
Held too long, Kemp.
One of their better players so far. Out to Jakovic. To Worsfold. Brennan down towards half forward. Points behind at three-quarter time and got up to win. Can they do it again today? The job is ahead of them. This is going to be the quarter that could sort things out. BLAKEY gets one a little bit too high, and a pretty untidy affair to start the third quarter. And the obvious decision from the umpire is to bounce it again just wide of the centre circle.
Chris Lewis beginning the quarter at full forward.
And Karl Langdon started the match there. Kemp, clean possession, gets well tackled by Abbott. The ball spills free. Worsfold gets the hand pass away onto LAIDLEY, but the whistle has gone. And it's going to be a free kick.
Held too long, Kemp.
One of their better players so far. Out to Jakovic. Onto Worsfold. Brennan down towards half forward, right on 50, and Paul Pios playing in front. Subsequently rewarded with the mark. A different number 6 this year, and would be just about able to get the distance, I would think, from there.
Ryan Turnbull's played in a number of positions today, but at the moment he's on the wing being picked up by BLAKEY.
Pios will kick from right on 50. 9-7 to 3-9 it is. Early moments of the third quarter, and the ball starts right and stays right. Out of bounds on the full. That was the correct side to aim it. It was the breeze, and it's only slight coming from there, but certainly not that much. And the free kick in the back pocket will be taken by Caven. You keep it on this side of the ground. Umpire was line, couldn't take the mark. Pios applies the tackle, and that could be holding the ball. In fact, it is. Good decision by the umpire, and Pios will have another shot, and almost from the same position.
Well, he's got no excuse now. He's checked the breeze. He'll kick from just outside the 50. Better looking kick too. Not quite the carry. Morrish got hands to it. It bounces off those hands and goes through for a minor score. Paul Pios, the Eagles' leading goal kicker this season, with 10. Sobering thought, really. Jason Dunstall's got 55.
And 17 in one match.
Yes. Bit of a story there on those figures alone. As Caven boots it straight down the middle. Jakovic knocks it forward, taken by Abbott. Only as far as Worsfold, who fumbles, gets the kick off, gains about 15 metres. Play on is the call. Stevens back to LAIDLEY this time. Stevens knocks it back. Dundas in the grasp. MATERA inside the centre square, boots it down towards full forward. Well done by Caven, backed himself against the ball. Ugle stood his ground. Now an opportunity for Hines. 30 metres out, David Hines snacks. It's close. It's a goal. They needed that one. And plenty more. 4-10, 9-7, but the attitude looks a little different.
Certainly does. The Eagles have bounced out at half-time and have controlled play at this point of time. And David Hines, well, there was a couple of Eagles players, Lewis on screen, who wasn't running to give him a handball option. He went alone and kicked his 10th goal for the season.
Hines getting his first. 16 effective shots to 14, so on that score at least the Eagles still in this. Waterman's kick out of the centre comes up towards left half forward. Roos, clean possession but gathered pretty smartly. Lynch can't get clear. Stevens kicks from a standing start. Look back at the umpire, thought he might have paid a free kick there. There was a play on call just the same. Ball on centre wing. Cormac doing well against his former club. Kicks in towards midfield. Clean bowls Turnbull up towards the circle. Laidley getting front position, comes out with the footy. The hand pass is errant though, goes to Osborne. He can't get clear. Turnbull dives on top of it, and we'll see a bounce just wide of the centre circle.
Well, 196 centimetres, I'd suggest that Ryan Turnbull is possibly the tallest wingman ever to have played.
I don't think I'll argue with you on that one. Djakovic, Mainwaring, MATERA, who had a good first quarter. Spiral punt kick, gets plenty of distance up to the goal square or just wide of it. The two number 22s do battle, and it's going to be a Fitzroy free kick to be taken by Caven. All around Hines, but only just Ugle, Morrish. Ball kept in play by the West Coast Eagles player. Stevens goes for the boundary line. Is that deliberate? I've seen worse paid, I must admit. Nothing for it. The Eagles appealing, but it fell on deaf ears. Boundaries forward in the Eagles forward pocket. A very encouraging start to this third quarter. Lewis a snapshot, and that's pretty good. He's got a goal. So 2 quick goals to start the third term, and the Eagles back in the contest. 21 points the difference.
Here's the replay. Langdon taps the ball, or assists to tap the ball, and Lewis, who we know is a brilliant player but has been well beaten today, finishes off with an excellent left foot goal. He's kicked 5 for the season, that makes 6. But has laboured a little bit today, and his form of late has been a shadow of what we saw in his best year in 1990.
So a testing time now for the Lions. They'd like the next goal. Worsfold high in the centre, missed the ball. Paxman got it out. WYND worked it on. Waterman comes up and takes the mark on his chest. Waterman up from centre half back. Kicks towards centre half forward. Roos in from the side. Punches away from Lamb. Langdon against the flow. Well done. Forces his way through. Gains about 15 metres with a kick. Comes back to Pios on the bounce. Tries to get it across to Ugle. WYND slips in there with courage. It comes back to Langdon, who goes goalward. Caven kept his eye on the ball. Hines running back could not. So Caven takes this mark on the goal line, sends play towards the outer side, and Roos, and that's a very good mark. He makes a habit of playing well against the West Coast Eagles. A bit like Lockett against Adelaide, I guess. Saw that game yesterday. What, 12, 10 and 10, Tony Lockett against Adelaide. I think they need to recruit Ian Botham to play on him. There goes the kick from Roos from half back towards half forward. It falls behind. Abbott scrambles a kick across the ground. This is Turnbull wanting some time. He had plenty. Pulls it back through the middle. Now an opportunity for Pios. He needs support. 3 Fitzroy players came at him. He didn't get a shepherd. Cormac in trouble. Stood in the tackle. Got it to SEECAMP. WYND was going nowhere. Confronted by Kemp. Now an opportunity for Hepburn. Down he goes. Turnbull on his knees. Lamb. A wave of Fitzroy players coming at him. And we've got a bounce.
Well, finally we see the Eagles come out to play. They're hunting in numbers. We haven't seen that all day. And possibly we'll see some reward on the scoreboard.
I think it was an ambush of Fitzroy players, wasn't it, the way it turned out? WYND up the half forward, the bouncing ball. Wheildon, lightning hand pass to Paxman. His right footer was close. They need a quick reply, and they've got it. Paxman putting through his first goal of the afternoon, and Fitzroy's 10th, and just what they needed after the West Coast had come out with 2 very quick goals, 10-7 to 5-10.
Yes, an excellent goal from Paxman. He's been a thorn in the Eagles' side all day. He's upset their balance somewhat, playing on the ball, and he hooks that one round from 45 metres. An excellent goal.
Back into the centre. Paxman taps it down. Free kick. After Paxman's goal, Djakovic takes the free kick at midfield, but Roos again chipping in front of Chris Lewis. You better let him go, otherwise he could get 50 metres. And Fitzroy are out of danger again. 2 goals to 1 in the third quarter. Hepburn trying to charge through. The ball spills free. WYND takes the hand pass, loops it out to the centre wing position. It's going to be an Eagles ball, picked up by Worsfold. Worsfold is kicked to the 50-metre line. Marking contest down there. They all misjudge it. And Fitzroy through SEECAMP onto Paxman, who kicked the last goal, onto Roos, and over it goes to Cormac.
Cormac through the middle. Long kick inside the attacking 50. Wheildon outmaneuvered this time by White. White wasting no time to Waterman. He's at left half back. 27 points the margin. Jakovic has the ball running towards the wing now. Kicks towards left half forward. Pios at full stretch. Couldn't rake it in. Does well to come back and smother the hand pass though, as Stevens was trying to lob it across to support. SEECAMP was free just some 15 metres further afield, so Pios winning that situation really for the West Coast Eagles and bringing about this throw in. Here's Pios again. Kemp keeps it in front. Lewis. Little space down there. Kemp, hurried kick. Well done by Hines, charging at that ball. Guard appeared to be held without it. Ugle. Down goes Pios, and the ball is out of bounds. For Pios.
Yes, no talking.
It was Pios who was headed goalward, but Hines had a head of steam up. Paxman. Effective again, close to the boundary line. SEECAMP was pushed in the back. No, out of bounds. We'll have a throw in. 10-7 Fitzroy, 5-10 the West Coast Eagles after Fitzroy led by 24 points at quarter time and 34 at the half. Paxman gets it down. SEECAMP couldn't control it. WYND goes after it, over the ball. Not a lot of time on this small ground. It's very congested. It's very hard for the players. It's been a physical game of football.
Well, Dean Kemp surely is earning his bread and butter today, because he's been shattered all day by WYND, who is one of the best taggers in the business.
Baldwin coming on for Exel as we have a bounce on the opposite side of the ground. And that's another free kick going to the West Coast Eagles. Waterman, the recipient. And the kick straight to Roos. You think he'd go somewhere else. Morris gets the front position in front of Lewis. He's taken over the boundary line. And it'll be a throw in front of the food stall down there. He's doing a brisk business here this afternoon. Paxman and Langdon, guard. Knocks the ball back whence it came. Lamb, a push out. Picked up by that same player. Quick kick across his body. Ball up towards Caven. He tried to keep it in play or tap it out to Morris, whichever you prefer. It's out of bounds anyway in front of the grandstand now. Hines setting himself. Paxman goes up with him. Good tackle by Langdon. The ball spills free, and that's as far as it's going, but it's going to be a bounce in the Eagles' left forward pocket, about 25 metres out from goal. And Jimmy WYND the last to get up. Begrudgingly gives it back to the umpire. The Eagles doing a lot of the attacking in the third quarter. They've got 2 goals on the board so far. And again, Fitzroy tying it up. On this small ground, it's hard to find space, and that's been one of the problems for the Eagles this afternoon. There's about 20 players around this ball up. Paxman up high again. Ball socket away by Hines. Langdon taps it forward. Gathers his own tap on, but it comes to Morris. He goes every which way. A cross goal. Could have been dangerous. Finally farms out the hand pass to Dundas, and Fitzroy get clear.
Dundas wide towards the wing. Osborne, well played, well shepherded by BLAKEY. Boots it down towards half forward. It ricochets off Baldwin, who spent a long time off the ground. LAIDLEY close to the boundary line. Carries it across.
And a one-on battle there. Richard Osborne was just too strong for Dean LAIDLEY.
10-7, 5-10. Just over 14 minutes remaining till three-quarter time. Here's LAIDLEY out of the congestion. WYND going back with the ball. Langdon coming to meet him. WYND couldn't control it. Pios crashes into him. It's tough, uncompromising stuff now. Langdon down towards full forward. You've got to take your half chances on this sort of ground. And here's a half chance. Lewis tries to go off the ground. Great defence. Caven forces it through. But initially that dive across the boot was superb by guard. So behind when it seemed it would be a West Coast Eagles goal. 5-11 to 10-7. Caven back down the middle. Knocked on by Abbott. LAIDLEY used his body well. Down goes Waterman. In comes Kemp. He's got speed. Worsfold comes away. Brennan is loose. 2-on-1 situation on the outer side. If Brennan can control this ball, Armstrong goes after him. Brennan gets away. Boots it back towards Hines. Fisted away by Caven. In front at SEECAMP.
SEECAMP from right half back. Hugging the boundary line with the kick. Jakovic, a strong mark. He had support there from Hepburn. And Djakovic playing a consistently good game today. One of the Eagles' better players. They haven't had too many, certainly before half-time that was the situation. A little bit of an edge out there. And it's going to be a Fitzroy free kick to Roos. Stevens it is to take the free. Kicks right on his own defensive 50-metre line. Lamb in front. Got a hand to it and kept it away from Ross Lyon. That was about the best option he could have had. And the throw in front of the small grandstand on the outer side. It's on centre wing. Important part of the match for the Eagles to try to get back into it. Armstrong tried to hack it from mid-air. That might be kicking in danger. An Eagles free kick. Yes, it is. And a 50-metre penalty. And on this ground, that is the ultimate penalty. So it'll bring him almost within kicking distance.
Definitely within kicking distance now. The umpire moving to about 40 metres from goal. And we know that Peter MATERA is a long raking kick when he makes good connection. He had an outstanding first quarter, MATERA, but was a little bit quiet in the second. And the Eagles would really be looking to this player, one of their best, to give them a spark. He has that opportunity now.
Metropolis coming on and going off the ground is David Hines. MATERA 40 metres out, directly in front of goal. And the goal umpire moving across. He may have missed that one. One behind. It's kicked by Peter MATERA, so his tally is 2 behinds now for the afternoon. And he looks rather disgusted with his effort. 10-7 to 5-12. Caven will kick in. He'll go straight up the centre of the ground, and that's a good kick. In fact, it's almost to the centre circle. The knock-on by Paxman goes to the West Coast Eagles' Waterman. And is that a mark? No. Umpire says play on. Lewis will do just that. Hooks the ball across his body. 2-on-1 situation there in favour of the Eagles, but it's going to be a Fitzroy ball. Morris tried to get clear, and the ball taken over the boundary line by Lyon. Boundary throw in 62-65 metres out from goal. Important part of the match if the Eagles are to come back. Knocked down by Turnbull, tried to find Ugle with it, couldn't do so. Morris in danger of being pinned, looks for a hand pass, gets one into John Blakey, and Blakey from the left centre wing up towards half forward. 2 Eagles players are there. Djakovic, one of their best, to clean possession.
Lamb favoured by the kick, takes a strong mark. Dundas was bearing down on him. 10-7, 5-12. Waterman, awkward bounce. On the burst, Stevens. Opportunity going the other way now for Fitzroy. Dundas boots it down towards right half forward. Djakovic in front. Deflects to Harding. Clever handball back into the path of Baldwin. It wouldn't set for him. He sockets it across the boundary line, and it will be thrown in.
Well, the Eagles have had certainly the greatest percentage of play here, but their forward line, which has been a problem for them all day, just can't convert the opportunities. The ball isn't coming in very well. Hines has been given a couple of half chances. But, still a problem, the forward structure for the Eagles.
White to no one in particular. Osborne likes these sort of situations. Osborne is a brilliant snap, and this is no exception. That's a marvellous goal. Fitzroy get their 11th, 11-7 to 5-12. Osborne's kick 2.
Well, this is a bit of a cakewalk at the moment. The Eagles had all the play, but Fitzroy are the ones that kick against the flow. An excellent snap from Richard Osborne, who kicks his 26th goal of the season.
So the margin now 31 points. It was 34 at half-time. So the Eagles plenty of the ball, but not making much of an impression as Turnbull tries to go off the ground. This is Langdon, wants his left side. The kick not a particularly good one. Pios, the most active forward for the West Coast Eagles, concedes some ground as he goes back to Worsfold, who chips it across the ground. Now Waterman can take it and go. Inside the centre square, he bombs it down towards full forward. Brennan, almost the mark. Not paid, finds it on the ground, gets the hand pass to Metropolis, who snaps, and it's a goal. That was better, some conviction there from the West Coast Eagles as they went forward.
Yes, we all thought that Brennan would have taken that mark. It came to ground. He did get the handball away, picked up by Metropolis, who ignored Dwayne Lamb. And he kicked his 8th goal for the season, his first this afternoon.
Under 10 minutes left in the term, 11-7 to 6-12, so still the Eagles plugging away. So we get the impression if Fitzroy can weather this storm, they could win the match. Djakovic's kick hacked out of the centre. Blakey in the road with a quick kick to the outer side. The Seagulls will scatter. They do. 2-on-1 in favour of Fitzroy, Paxman and Waterman. He should be able to get it back to Lyon, which he does. Not too much support for him, so he goes long down to half forward. Hepburn gets outpaced down there by Wheildon, and the ball very close to the boundary line, and in fact it's taken over in front of Paul Abbott. A throw in 60 metres from goal. Getting a little bit dark here at North Hobart now. 11-7 to 6-12, so 73 to 48. The Eagles came from behind last week. WYND's kick is smothered. Jakovic again. Kemp chips it in short, intended for Langdon, but he fell over at the crucial moment. Roos, good battle up there, and Roos plenty of time to steady. Straight down the ground. LAIDLEY up high. WYND pinned. MAINWARING through some pretty heavy traffic, but it's going to be a Fitzroy ball. Up to half forward and very close to the boundary line. BLAKEY, will he keep it in? Yes, no, he hasn't. It's out of bounds in front of Harding, so a boundary throw in just outside the 50-metre mark. 11-7 to 6-12, 73 to 48. Ball tapped out the back. And it comes into the arms of Jason Baldwin, who kicks into the pocket. Richard Osborne doesn't let him down. Osborne well within kicking distance. He's kicked 2 goals so far today, but the angle fairly acute, although the pockets here at the North Hobart ground aren't that deep. So Osborne for his 3rd and Fitzroy's 12th. Distance shouldn't be a problem. Runs around to give himself just a little bit more room, and I think he may have missed. Has he? 1 behind. Registered by the former captain, so his tally for the afternoon stands at 2 goals 1 out of the Fitzroy total of 11 goals 8. 74 to 48. 7.5 minutes left in the term, and it will be White to bring the ball back into play.
Mitchell White goes to the outer side. Getting loose out there was Jakovic, but he proceeds to drop the mark. MATERA almost held without it. Still he goes. MATERA tries to get it back to Jakovic. It bounces out of bounds. The story of the day right there. Jakovic should have taken that mark and maybe got the ball to a running MATERA. Instead it all broke down. Fitzroy's attitude has been terrific so far. Can they maintain it? Kemp goes off the ground. Brilliantly trapped by Lewis, who proceeds to kick it straight up in the air. Over the top, Stevens. Knocked on now by Waterman, who's been busy in this term. Chris Waterman running towards half forward, but the shepherd illegal by Kemp on Baldwin. I must admit I wasn't watching it, but that was the indication from the umpire.
He paid a trip.
So Baldwin, injured in the opening minutes of the game, back on the ground and having some impact now as he kicks towards centre half forward. Hepburn reaching over the top, fisting wide. Stevens has got it. Support from Armstrong. Armstrong will go with his right boot, not his favoured kicking side. He pulls it back. Hepburn should mark this, and does, about 20 metres out from his defensive goal. Fitzroy 11-8. The West Coast Eagles are 6-12.
MATERA running. Plenty of space at midfield and picks out Karl Langdon. He'll like to get the ball moving pretty quickly if he can. BLAKEY ties him up. He had Turnbull loose on the wing, but he's gone straight down the ground. Ugle the flyer, couldn't take the mark. SEECAMP to Stevens, nearly sold him into trouble. Roos doesn't really bounce that kindly for him, but he's good enough to get a hand pass away. If Fitzroy could get clear, they will. Stevens very close to the boundary line. Harding got a fingernail to the ball. Luckily he did, because otherwise it would have been out of bounds on the full. And a free kick to the West Coast. It's a boundary throw in between wing and right half forward for Fitzroy. Wheildon a long way from goal. Started the match in sensational fashion. Good hip and shoulder by Scott Waters out there to get rid of his opponent. WYND diving on top of the ball. Lyon, who had a sensational first quarter as well. And it will be out of bounds. Punched away by John Worsfold, about 30 metres from Fitzroy's goal, with 5.5 minutes left in this term. So the Eagles, with the task ahead of them, they need a couple of quick ones. They started well in this quarter, got the first 2 goals. MAINWARING, haven't seen too much of him today, but he did rally late in the game last week against the Tigers, and that lifted his side. Another effort needed today if the Eagles are to win this. Very crowded bounce it will be. No one gets a decisive tap out. And it comes to Kemp. Courage needed here, and that's a strong mark. Taken by John Blakey, who's given Fitzroy magnificent service over the years, and he has a chance to bring up his second goal. Let's take a look at that again.
Yes, well, I wouldn't have thought now was the time for experimentation from the Eagles, but there John Blakey takes a mark, a good mark overhead, and his man Ryan Turnbull, I just can't believe that he's a wingman and can't understand the theory behind the move.
Blakey directly in front, kicks from 40 metres out and gets the goal. So John Blakey gets his second, and that's going to make the task for the Eagles just that much difficult. 12-8. 80 plays 6-12, 48.
Well, here comes the ball. Typical of the Eagles' kicks and disposal today. Kemp straight up in the air.
Good mark.
And Fitzroy first to the ball. An excellent mark from John Blakey. Kicks his second goal from the wing. Good game.
32 points the difference. It was 34 at half-time, so for all their efforts, the West Coast Eagles making up just 2 points. Lamb towards half forward. Good mark. Well, almost to Brennan. Not paid. It spills to Langdon, who threw it across to Kemp. That's the decision. And Caven will take the free kick up from centre half back. He's done well in defence. Most of the Fitzroy defenders have played well. He kicks inside the attacking 50. Strong mark in front. Hepburn. He thought about going. Hepburn squares it. MATERA. Now LAIDLEY is on down the ground. LAIDLEY's got it. Forward of half back. He's running up towards the wing, Dean LAIDLEY. 12-8, 6-12. Here's where their problems start. They can't get through centre half forward at the moment. Lewis a long way up the ground. Proceeds to give it to Lamb. Back it comes to Brennan. Brennan from 45 metres out. It's bending back. It's a goal. Well played. 7-12 to 12-8. As the players tire, it's noticeable more space is being created for the runners of both teams. That may assist the West Coast Eagles. They're not done yet.
Well, they're certainly not out of the game, but something dramatic will have to change here. Here we see Lewis put Lamb under pressure, who was good enough to get the ball to Brennan, who had a poor start to the game with Wheildon kicking a number of goals on him. He's now up in the forward line.
Brennan's first goal, 3 minutes left in the quarter, 12-8 to 7-12. So if the Eagles can get another one, it'll make it interesting. So to a Frost line. Oh, cops a high one. Stopped him right in his tracks. And Line decides to play on after the free kick. 25-metre hand pass. Taken away by Wheildon, but not very far back to Line. Maybe he should have had a shot for goal first. It's always easy to be wise after the event. And that's gone through for only one behind.
There's no question of that, Peter. Ross Lyon, only 45 metres out, should have gone back and just drilled that ball. One got the impression that he was a little bit stunned by that smack to the jaw there, as Michael Malthouse peruses the field, wondering what he can do.
Well, plenty of time left for him. They do have that on their side. Armstrong might have conceded a free kick. And in fact, he has. It'll be taken by Jakovic for interference. Jakovic from the left half-back flank. Lobs it to centre wing. Stevens must have been taken high, at least that was my opinion and that of the crowd, but nothing for it from the umpire. Plenty of weight being used in those packs. Oh, LAIDLEY cannons into, I think it's Dundas down at the bottom of that pack. LAIDLEY gets up, yes it is, and he'll take the free kick. And Matthew Dundas, a real little goer. Doesn't deliver the kick that well, intended for Paxman. He might be able to double back and take it. He does. On it goes to Baldwin. Good tackle by MAINWARING. And the best result for Fitzroy then is for the ball to go out of bounds, which it does, right on the 2-minute mark. 2 minutes to go in the quarter. So a vital time. The Eagles would dearly love another goal before the three-quarter time siren. One wonders if they're good enough to get it. Up to half forward. Is that a mark to Cormac? And, Harding it is. Inside the square, the umpire has played it. Going pretty slippery down there. And the Eagles able to close ranks. Ball taken out of bounds just past the 50-metre line in front of Richard Osborne. 12-9 to 7-12. John Blakey in the background has also kicked a couple of goals. Osborne has 2 against his name as we await the throw-in. Out the back it comes. Covered a good few metres that. Up towards Jakovic. Couldn't take it. Waterman can. Good turn of speed from midfield. Goes down towards the 50-metre line. That's as far as they're going as Roos chips in to take the mark in front of Brennan.
Just unbelievably poor disposal into the forward line. Just being displayed here by the Eagles, giving their forwards no opportunity whatsoever.
inside the last minute of the term. Lyon has been a terrific player. Full-chested mark that one. He's got the ball on the wing. Fitzroy can get a late goal. Could be the ball game as he boots it down towards left half forward. Mitchell White does well, outmanoeuvring Wheildon that time. Wheildon kicked 5 goals in the opening half. White back towards the wing. They've got to try and run Roos around. They're simply kicking it to Roos at the moment. He plays on and gets it to Stevens. Stevens boots it inside the 50. Out comes Osborne. It ricochets to Wheildon. Wheildon standing start goal.
Oh, geez, good at those, isn't he?
He's got 6. It's 13-9 to 7-12.
Well, an excellent snap goal there from Darren Wheildon. His 6th goal. And Paul Roos takes the mark because Paul Pios wouldn't punch from behind. He quickly gets it on to Brett Stevens. And this is an excellent snap. An instinctive goal. And that's the difference between the two sides at the moment. The Eagles are playing haphazard football, almost thinking before they move, whereas the Lions just go forward, following their instincts.
Last 5 seconds of the term as we await the siren. Dundas goes off the ground. So 3/4 time, and Fitzroy gamely meeting every challenge in that term. Lead 13-9 to 7-12. They do it again, the West Coast Eagles. They trail by 33 points. Of course, Fitzroy, a far cry from the position they found themselves in last Sunday in this game. Langdon going nowhere. WYND hooks it back across his body. Wheildon smothered the ball. Baldwin did well. Cormac, who's been busy, boots it out towards right half forward. Dundas with pace, gets there first but can't control the ball. It goes out of bounds and we've got a throw in. Right half forward, 13-9 to 7-12. It's got a little gloomy here at North Hobart, matching the disposition of the supporters of the West Coast Eagles as WYND boots it inside the attacking 50. It bounces very high in the air. Opportunity for BLAKEY. Wheildon dragged down by White. In goes Osborne. Knocked away by Worsfold, taken by BLAKEY, who's got support. Harding goes to the pocket and the mark is held there by Osborne. Now these pockets are very shallow, so it's not a difficult kick from here. He's only about 25 metres out on a slight angle. Interesting, the man who kicked it to him, Dean Harding, drafted with an Eagles pick back in 1990. The Eagles exchanged that pick for Dale Kicker. Here's Osborne. They have missed it. Well, the Eagles catch a break.
Yes, they certainly sigh again, the Eagles. They're still not out of it. That could have just about finished them, and Michael Malthouse has moved down to ground level. Perhaps he thinks he can have a little bit more input or impact down there.
Worsfold boots it straight down the middle. Abbott from behind, knocked on by Waters. The lax there by Lewis. Well done though by Lamb. Gets it across to support. Waters boots it towards half forward. BLAKEY kicks it straight up in the air. Fisted away by Stevens.
Stevens up to midfield. There is a whistle on play. And it's going to be a free kick. Taken by LAIDLEY at midfield. The Eagles need some goals and they need them quickly. They're not out of this contest by any stretch of the imagination, but a couple of quick goals would certainly aid their cause. And they're not going to get far in this play. It's going to be a bounce. Good stop there by Guard. With a name like that, you'd have to be playing in defence. Paxman up high. Lewis, a chance here for the Eagles. Lewis, ever the opportunist. A snapshot at goal has resulted though in only a minor score. So Lewis's tally for the day goes to 1 goal 2 out of the Eagles' total of 7-13. 55 plays 88. Caven to bring the ball back into play. Still 33 points the difference at North Hobart. Fitzroy perhaps setting up for their first win in competition football apart from the Foster's Cup. Jakovic from centre half forward, marking the kick in a marking contest up there. Is it Brennan's? He's the one that's come down with it. I don't think it is his. It'll go to Roos, who gets up limping slightly.
Well, I can't quite understand the rationale here for the Eagles. There's a 50-metre penalty being also applied. At the start of the game, they had a tall forward line and they kicked the ball in short. Now they've got a very small forward line and they're bombing the ball into full forward, giving Ugle very little opportunity.
So little thinking, one would believe. Roos, who's played a superb game this afternoon, looks for Wheildon. He's got a strong pair of hands. And he's kicked 6 goals this afternoon. A magnificent snap in the third quarter resulted in full points to steady the ship for Fitzroy. Abbott leading out well. A veteran now, but one of his best games. I've seen him play for quite some time. Back to some of his best form. A player who in a grand final kicked 6 goals for Hawthorn. And he could get a goal here. He's given that one a real sort of a chance. Just drifted off slightly. Hasn't quite got the distance. Worsfold farms out the long hand pass and taken on the run by Mainwaring.
Mainwaring around the boundary. Some remarkable manning up there, or lack of it, by the Eagles as that kick went in. Very lazy football they're playing. Lyon gets it across to Roos. Unfortunately stumbled, but did well on his knees. Got it to Baldwin. This is Lyon, still inside the centre square. Sends it down towards full forward. Great attempt at the mark behind by Worsfold. Osborne on top of him, but the ball comes back to Jakovic, who pops it out wide to Waters. He's at right half back. Pops it over the top in turn and finds Langdon out there. Langdon away to Pios. Pios was pushed in the back as he kicked that one. It wobbles down towards half forward, and Roos again. He's played a terrific game. His hand pass angled out of bounds. It will be thrown in. There's Paul Roos. Back in form last year, certainly this year. Plenty of possessions today. Had a couple of quiet seasons. If you go back 2 or 3 years, a clever mark on the outer side to Lyon. Blessed with magnificent skills, Ross Lyon. Probing kick inside the 50. Osborne almost held there. Takes the mark in any case.
Too strong for John Worsfold. Had the front spot and took full advantage of it. Shrugged him off, as you can see there, with the arms. And John Worsfold is just another one of the Eagles who's been down on form today.
Osborne has kicked 2. He fires from 40 metres out. He misses to the near side. So when they've had a chance to wrap it up, they haven't been able to get the goal they've needed. Richard Osborne's had 2 attempts for 2 behinds in this term.
A tally of 2 goals, 3 for Richard Osborne, the former captain. And speaking of captains, it's Worsfold to kick in. Good roost, straight down the ground. That's the way the Eagles have got to go. Hepburn got underneath the ball. Waterman tries to snare it, nearly gets taken by Lyon. And there was a high tackle out there on Mainwaring, or was it Kemp? It's a play on call. It was Mainwaring. Kemp has the ball now. And the Eagles desperately trying to get it moving quickly. Waters, a little chip shot under Langdon. Back to Waters, nearly runs out of room. Gets it over to Pios right on 50. He'll go for the long bomb into the goal square. One-on-one contest. Brennan and Stevens. Brennan has to try to get back quickly. Does so. Stevens tries to tie it up. Tackle been made by Trent Nichols, who spent a lot of time on the bench this afternoon. And it will be a ball up about 15 metres out from goal. 13-11 to 7-13. The bounce favouring Fitzroy. And here he comes, in my opinion, the man of the match. Coming in for possession, number 27. Paul Roos to half forward. Lyon. Yes, the mark. No, not the mark, says the umpire. Couldn't understand why. Looked after the second bite that he got it. LAIDLEY kicks the ball across his body, but straight to BLAKEY. And BLAKEY from left half forward spears in the pass. Good block by Worsfold. The ball out the back of the pack. And the Eagles defending desperately here. And it's out of bounds. Taken over by the Doc Wheildon, who's got 6 goals against his name. And 4 of those came in the first quarter. Started off in magnificent touch. And he's also got goal of the day against his name from this pocket. Lyon. A quick kick, but slung. Ball comes out to Dwayne Lamb, and he will clear it for the West Coast Eagles up to centre wing.
Brennan in front, fisted away by Stevens. Lamb's got it, the defensive side of the wing, and boots towards half court. Good strong mark taken in front by SEECAMP. Away to guard. Metropolis got him. Stevens back to SEECAMP. He's in real trouble. Could have almost been holding the ball as guard tracks it towards the boundary line. Out of bounds, it will be thrown in.
They're playing well as a team, Fitzroy. In total contrast to the Eagles, who are playing as individuals. Their statistics will look reasonable, I'm sure, at the end of the day, but their disposal and work rate for each other has been very, very ordinary.
MATERA working it down towards the pocket, battling with Armstrong. And out of bounds it goes. MATERA claiming on the full. And the boundary umpire having none of that. 13-11. 7-13. Robert Shaw looking on. His second season as coach of Fitzroy. Took Clarence to a premiership. Down here in Tasmania back in '84. Off the ground by Armstrong. Unable to control it, Brennan. It ricochets out of bounds and will be thrown in. So the West Coast Eagles missing some players, as are Fitzroy. Those players prime movers in what they do, especially on the forward line, Hiddy and Sumich. And today they haven't been able to buy a goal as Lamb gets it to Lewis. Can they make something of this? Lewis to the pocket and Ugle on the lead. Well, he's gone a long way into the pocket to take this mark, but as we said earlier, the pocket's not all that deep here, so he's a right footer. When he comes in, it will open up the angle. Ugle kicks and misses to the near side.
Of course, that's one of the problems with this ground, that often the only place you can find space is if you lead out to the boundary line, and with the centre corridor being congested, that's where the Eagles have had many of their scoring opportunities.
2 goals 2 to Troy Ugle as Caven does the kicking in. Djakovic, the flyer, couldn't come down with the ball. Lamb to Pios, back to Lamb, had to go for the knock on. Good block by Dundas. Paxman played a pretty good game, tries to get it back to Dundas with a little chip kick, was just wide of him and he ran out of room. Boundary throw in again at right half forward, or between wing and right half forward. 13-11 to 7-14. 16 minutes left in this match, so if the Eagles are to get back into it, they need some goals, and pretty quickly. Free kick, says umpire Brian Sheehan, or is it going to be a ball up again? It's a stalemate and he will bounce it.
Trent Nichols just coming off the ground. He's had a very quiet day, Nichols.
He's covered plenty of territory on and off to the bench, hasn't he?
He has. Hines coming on to replace him. I just wonder whether Trent Nichols is shaping as the player that Mick Malthouse thought he was. He's only kicked 3 goals for the season, averaging only 14 possessions.
Pios out of that scramble, but there's another whistle. It's going to be an Eagles free kick. Did you see what that was for, Jared?
No, I'm afraid I didn't. I was watching Nichols and thinking how typical he is of many of the Eagles players at the moment. He just appears to be lacking concentration and confidence.
Well, Karl Langdon maybe can give them something here. Coming in for his 12th kick, within kicking distance. And what's he done with that one? Judging by the look on his face, he hasn't got the goal. One behind. Kick by Karl Langdon. So that's his 2nd point for the day. 7-15 to 13-11. So it looks as though the Eagles, their first trip to North Hobart as a team, they're going to go away disappointed. Caven to kick in again. 15 minutes left in the contest.
Caven straight down the middle. Hepburn up in front. Djakovic pulls it back. Ugle's in front. Well, bad luck for Caven. He was the man who did the kicking in, and always then, as a result of that kick in, Ugle had a start of about 15 metres on him. He narrowed it to 5 by the time the ball got there, but Ugle should goal from directly in front, 25 metres out. He's got it. The Eagles get their 8th. 8-15 to 13-11.
Yes, well, the Eagles really are now playing for pride. I'm not sure they can get back into this game with only 14.5 minutes left to play. It wouldn't be impossible, but the way they're approaching the ball, one would have to say there'd be grave doubts, to say the least. 3 goals to Ugle.
So the margin is 26 points. There's the time remaining. And the job in front of the West Coast Eagles here. Kicking in danger, should have been. Doesn't matter. Dundas boots it out wide. It takes an Eagles bounce. Waterman goes off the ground. Wheildon did well to come across and give a contest. It's out of bounds on the outer side wing then. 13-11 to 8-15. Hepburn and Abbott doing the ruck work. Hepburn tries to hook it behind. Cormack on his knees to Abbott. Brought down by Lewis. Lyon tries to knock it across to WYND, who knocks it back towards Lyon. Eventually Djakovic. The hand pass very untidy. Cormack stood his ground and missed the ball. Waters, hurried kick, straight up in the air. Dundas kicks inside the 50. Storming up the ground was Osborne. Harding, claimed there by Mainwaring. Dundas across to WYND. WYND snaps. And he's missed by the proverbial country mile, out of bounds on the full.
Yes, he's a great goer, James WYND. Skill never has been a great aspect of his play, though. On that occasion, kicked it straight out in the full.
Well, the Eagles have got to get the next goal if they're to stay in this match. Oh, Wheildon, strong mark.
I described that as the flying doctor.
We were waiting for that. Now, the way he's been going today, he could probably kick this. Osborne makes a lead, but he'll go back again as he's minded by Worsfold. I think he's in two minds here, whether he should have a shot or go for the short one. Now, he's gone for the short one, and it has actually come off. Just probably thought he was too far out to score. So 13 minutes left, and I think he'll be pretty happy with his day's work, Doc Wheildon.
Eagles players dispersing to all points of the globe there, trying to make sure they're not blamed for picking up Jeremy Gard.
Who had drifted down the ground. Gard's kick looks pretty good. Split the centre with that. Well, Jeremy Gard getting his first goal, and that might be the match-winning one for Fitzroy. 14-11 to 8-15.
Yes, good goal to Jeremy Gard. Opportunist, floated down. And it appears that his man is Chris Lewis, who isn't playing with a great deal of substance. His concentration has been ordinary. It's not surprising the goal results.
Back into the centre, 12.5 minutes left in this match now. Gard's first goal, maybe making the game safe. Lewis seems to have the job on him at the moment. Lamb, too far for SEECAMP. Out comes Ugle. SEECAMP gets the front posse though. Needs someone going past to take the hand pass. Langdon pinned, that's just about holding the ball. Good tackle by Roos. But the umpire has ruled, I guess, in Langdon's favour. The best that he can hope for is a ball up, and that's what he gets. So a bounce on the outer side. And as the clock ticks down, the Eagles needing some goals and needing them quickly. Paxman, Lewis, off the ground. No, can't handle it. Waters takes it, shuffles the hand pass over the top, but back it goes to Paul Roos. A lovely sidestep. And kicks from a standing start, a spiral punt. Only to see it land in the arms of LAIDLEY, who decides to play on logically and quickly. Baldwin's got him, that's holding the ball. Fine tackle, he just ran out of room, and Baldwin will take the free kick on left centre wing.
The Lions lead by 32 points. Very important game, this one for them, and they've come away with the victory, it seems. He boots well inside the 50. Osborne on his knees. Surely that's a free kick to Armstrong. Not much science in the tackle there. Osborne and MATERA. A wise smile from Harding.
Well, here's the replay. Chris Mainwaring almost tripped as he pushed Armstrong in the back. Matthew Armstrong, who has had the job on the wing, has been a good contributor today.
Great to see him back too. Runner-up for Fitzroy's best and fairest in '88. He came from Hobart originally. This kick's not a good one. It slides away to the left-hand side. So a minor score. They're kicking in this final term. Fitzroy's hasn't been all that good. They could have really wrapped this up long ago. Not that it's not just about parcelled up now. 14-12 to 8-15. Worsfold kicks in straight down the middle. Lewis opted out of the contest at the last moment, then proceeds to knock it on. It's all Fitzroy around the ball once more. Armstrong got it across to Lyon, who chips it in short, taken by Osborne. No one near him. He pulls it back. It's a goal. He kicks his third. Fitzroy 15-12 and the Eagles 8-15.
Well, Richard Osborne hammers home the nail into the coffin. Lyon had 4 opportunities there, kicked it into space, and that's where Richard Osborne found himself, because John Worsfold was standing still in the goal square. Swings around and kicks an easy goal for his third for the day.
Back to the centre. 3 goals, 3 now kicked by Richard Osborne, and one would think the game almost safe for Fitzroy. Waterman breaks away with the football, but it's not going to be his. It'll be brought back, and the free kick will be taken by Armstrong just off the centre circle. He's kicked it to half forward. Mainwaring in front and has taken the mark in front of Osborne. Haven't seen too much of him today. Fairly quiet display by his standards, certainly. Up to midfield, marking contest. Stevens punches clear, tries to get it to Armstrong. who in turn shuffles out the hand pass to Blakey, who's quick over the first few metres. It doesn't bounce too kindly for LAIDLEY. MAINWARING taken high. No free kick for it. Tried to draw a man to him. Up to SEECAMP. Didn't matter. He fumbled, but he'll get the hand pass back from Roos. He'll have to be quick now. Metropolis is right on him. Fitzroy had the numbers. That could be a throw. In fact, it is, says the umpire. Pios will take the free kick. The advantage paid. The Eagles into attack. Hines leads out right on 50. They must make something of this. Back to Pios. The kick is partially smothered though. Ugle with a knock on. Back to Pios. And Fitzroy again had the numbers. Through SEECAMP. Tried to find Roos. Couldn't do so. Lewis in front of him. A high kick. Will it be out of bounds on the full? In fact, the ball's still in play. And now it's taken over the boundary line. And it'll be a throw in front of the main scoreboard, some 15 metres from goal. The Eagles in attack, but the clock ticking down, under 9 minutes left in the term.
Thrown in. Neither ruckman touched the ball. Out of the congestion. Hines' kick was blanketed. It comes back to Waterman, who goes with the right foot. That's a good effort. He's got the goal. So Chris Waterman gets the 9th for the West Coast Eagles. They're 9-15 and Fitzroy are 15-12.
Yes, we're not renowned as a goal kicker, Waterman. Usually gets a roll in defence. But here he takes full advantage of his opportunity on the right foot. Puts home a pretty good goal.
$33 points the difference then, as it was at three-quarter time.
And 34 at half-time, Dennis.
Yep, they just can't get much closer. They can't get it below 30. And the times they have, once or twice quickly, Fitzroy have responded. Blakey goes to ground. Lamb. Jakovic left without it. This is WYND. Over the top, intended for Armstrong. They came quickly for him. Baldwin lunging handball away. Cormac's got it on the 50. Meters in the clear is Roos. Getting back, sensing the danger was Waterman. Hepburn gives it to Pios. Langdon's on down the ground. He's got it now on the wing. He can take it and go. Lewis kicking inside the 50. Brennan must get a free kick. He was held without it. Bad luck to Stevens, who lost his balance and was falling. And as he was going down, grabbed onto something, and that happened to be Brennan. So Brennan will kick it goal from 30 metres out, slight angle, should get this one. If he does, the margin will be 27 points. Not impossible, but not the way they're playing. Brennan steers it through. 10-15 to 15-12.
Yes, well, the Eagles' goals are coming from their backman. Waterman was the last, and then Brennan. And here's the play leading up to it. We don't see Joe Cormac's kick, who was looking for Roos, but Roos's man comes up with the ball, Langdon, and he pokes the ball forward to Brennan, who gets free kicked.
Brennan's second goal, 27 points the difference, 10-15 to 15-12. The Eagles will need some quick goals to stay in this contest. Paxman up high, nice leap. Kemp went without the ball. Cormac. A little bit tough for Stevens, who did well to get a kick to it, or kick at it, but it's marked by LAIDLEY right off the edge of the square. Eagles again, Waterman. Down to half forward, marking contest, punched away by Morrish. Back it comes to Hines, turns quickly for a big fellow in front of the scoreboard. His snapshot is off target and through for only one behind. So 10-16 now to the West Coast Eagles. Second behind today to David Hines. His tally is 1 goal, 2, and under 7 minutes left. Guard, no, he's not going to kick in. Caven looking for a lead across the half-back line. Goes wisely to the outer side, the defensive side of the North Hobart ground. Now taken by Jakovic. So the Eagles doing a lot of the attacking. Not too much reward at the moment. Caven tried to punch away, but Ugle just found some space there. There wasn't too much of it, and he marked safely on the chest. It's going to be a very important kick.
Yes, well, the Eagles are mathematically, I guess, not out of it.
Ugle from 25 metres out. Ugly looking kick off the boot, but it's a goal. And poor Ugle has put through his 4th and the Eagles' 11th. So the difference now is only 20 points, but 6 minutes left, Gerard. Maybe not enough time.
Well, I guess it is enough time, Peter, but the Eagles just aren't playing well enough, although they have kicked the last 3 goals. And here's the play. Poor punch there from Caven, who's been a good player all day. Allows Ugal to come in for his 4th goal.
So a few murmurs for Fitzroy now. Suddenly the Eagles looking more potent. Waterman towards half forward. Brennan in front, knocked away. Langdon, well, 3 Eagles around the ball. They didn't do very well there. Dundas booting towards half forward. It bounces off the chest of the forward. That was Wheildon. It comes across to Baldwin, who pops it up towards full forward and Osborne. Fisted away by Worsfold. So the margin 20 points. And still well over 5 minutes remaining. Nichols to Laidley. They are finding some space, the Eagles. Laidley driving towards the half-forward line. Fitzroy in number. Roos dropped the mark, one of his few blemishes. Going in his lion, dragged off it. Kemp's got the run of it. Boots it down inside the 50. Storming up is Morris. Coming to meet him is Brennan. Morris did well. Ugal's got the ball. Gets it across to Lamb. Lamb on his natural left side tries to pull it back. It's half charged down. It deflects down towards full forward. Metropolis. Good strong tackle applied by Armstrong. Took him front on. MATERA, was he pushed in the back? Well, it would have been a false start in swimming. And we've got a throw in about 35 metres around from the behind post. Inside the last 5 minutes. 102 to 82.
20 points the difference, so a little bit of excitement here at North Hobart after it looked a foregone conclusion with Fitzroy. Dundas tries to get clear. The umpire says play on. There was a whistle on play down there. Waterman has taken the mark at midfield, or at left centre wing. Waterman, nice dummy, gets the hand pass away. Jakovic, has he got the speed and the strength? He has. Hepburn, nearly a throw to Lamb. Lamb to Kemp, inside 50. Plenty of speed still left in those legs. Around Cormac, long shot at goal. Into the goal square to the safe Fitzroy mark. Guess who? Paul Roos. And he'll steady the ship from there. Look at those stats. 18 kicks, 12 marks and 11 handballs. So nearly 30 possessions. And if that isn't best on ground, well, I'm a bad judge. Paxman, strong grab. And just what Fitzroy needed to get the ball out of the back line as the clock ticks down. Very athletic young man. He's done well in the ruck contest this afternoon. Jakovic runs into his opponent, doesn't come out with the ball. Now he might be able to get a disposal. Little toe poke off the ground. Sees the ball out of bounds in front of the interchange area on centre wing. So time against the Eagles. They trail by 20 points. It would need to be a miracle from here. To their credit, the West Coast have fought back well. Wheildon, Kemp. On it goes to Nichols. A quick left footer up to space at half forward. No mark taken by Hines. The ball at the back of the pack. Stevens gets cannoned into by that player. Pios leading BLAKEY in the race for the ball. No support from him. And Stevens should be able to tidy up. He can't do so. Brennan's there. Looks for the hand pass. Metropolis, is he quick enough? Hines, he will need to be quick. Paxman, a great tackle. And Fitzroy teaming superbly in the back line. Brennan again, another chance. Nearly lost his strides. Pios well pinned. The ball spills free. Fitzroy not giving up. And they will tie it up there on the half-back line.
Well, I thought Pios had to be holding the ball, didn't he?
A fortnight?
Didn't make too much of an effort to get rid of it. In fact, he looked like he'd been shot dead. He just dropped it completely.
Some great tackling by Fitzroy. Great pressure there. They kept coming after those Eagles who were trying to make something happen as WYND gets it to Roos. And you feel the Eagles have had their last hurrah. This is Morris. Back it comes to WYND. Pokes it out towards Dundas. Nicely done. Gets by MATERA. Under 2.5 minutes remaining now. Dundas solved Baldwin into trouble. Well done by MATERA. Well, if the Eagles had shown this sort of desperation in the first quarter, they wouldn't be in the situation they're in now. That's no disrespect to Fitzroy, but they certainly would have been closer, the Eagles. At last, they're having a bit of a dip. 15-12 to 11-16. Fitzroy have played with the same commitment all day long. Langdon to Lamb, who boots it inside the attacking 50. Storming up the ground, this is Caven, likely tight Caven, and Roos, who will settle it right down as we approach 1 minute 30 seconds.
Well, this may be a significant loss. 2.5 wins from 6 outings. May be a very, very dangerous ploy at the moment, because you'll have to be in the top 4 to win the premiership this year. the way this season is shaping, there are plenty of sides putting their hand up to fill those top 4 positions.
Hepburn punched it out of bounds. So Fitzroy, a terrific effort to come back from that big loss, 98 points against Geelong last Sunday. They've turned it around in the space of 7 days. Jakovic, I've liked his game, goes back and takes a good mark across half-back.
I think in the eyes of probably many, the Eagles' best player, he's been their most consistent anyway, Dennis, hasn't he? But speaking of consistent, Roos, mark number 13. Tremendous effort, forward line or in defence. Whatever Roos has done today has been good, and taking plenty of time, knowing that time is on Fitzroy's side. He'll have to get moving now. The umpire will warn him. He's chipped it a little bit short this time up to the centre wing position. The target was Ross Lyon. White gets rid of it quickly. MATERA on the run. Ugle, his target. Doesn't really bounce that kindly for him. Hines tries to pick it up on the run. Couldn't do so. Guess who's there to block him? Paul Roos. So inside a minute now, it will be a Fitzroy win. They've earned it, but the desperation shown by the Eagles in the last quarter hasn't been enough. Last week it was, not so today. As you mentioned, Dennis, if they'd shown this for 4 quarters, it might have been different. I'm not saying it would have been, but maybe they would have been closer. So another boundary throw in as the clock ticks down. And Fitzroy will win their first AFL match here after going down last year to Hawthorn and St Kilda. Lewis gets absolutely bombarded, and Metropolis with the ball taken over the boundary line for another throw in. That might be the final play because we're just about on siren time. And in fact, there it is. Fitzroy have won it. 15-12, 102 Fitzroy to the West Coast, 11-16-82.
Yes, well, Jakovic did play a very good game for the Eagles. He was consistent throughout the 4 quarters. I also like Mitchell White's performance on Wheildon after half-time. But other than that, it's a bit difficult to find good players. For Fitzroy, however, they were everywhere. Ross Lyon certainly started well and played an excellent game throughout. Very significant contributor in the middle, getting the ball out. Paul Roos, as Peter Landy has said a number of times, was probably best on the ground. He was like the Great Wall of China there at centre half back. But Fitzroy, convincing victors, 15-12, 102, defeated the West Coast Eagles 11-16-82.